Hi everybody, welcome back to part 11 of the ARTF Wot4 build. In this short video I'd like to show you how to plumb the tank correctly with all the pipework that's supplied in the kit. But before I do that, I'd just like to give you a quick recap on what we did on the previous video, which was installing the pull-pull rudder system. As you can see, if I can zoom in on the servos in the fuselage, I've differed slightly from the instructions by reversing these servos, turning them around the opposite way to the instructions. The reason for this is so you can actually get and access these linkages more easily when you come to set up the pull-pull. With the servo round the opposite way, these linkages are right underneath the woodwork area here of the wing retaining plate. It makes it really awkward to adjust. You can't see what you're doing, and just makes it generally really awkward. So I've rotated that servo. I've also rotated the elevator servo so the linkages don't clash with each other. I'll give you a little tip when doing this, and this is what I always do. I get a scrap piece of wood out of the old scrap box and clamp it to either side of the rudder like that. That will hold the rudder nice and central. If you can just look down over the top, it holds it nice and central, so when you're pulling on those pull wires to get the tension and to cut them off in the right place, obviously it holds that in its right position. Obviously have your servo centralized first, and then just nip the retaining collar. Once I've done that and I've tensioned it up and everything's nice and running fine, I just put a couple of drops of cyano onto the actual wire and the collar there. Just a bit of belt and braces, because obviously you don't want that coming adrift in mid-flight. It would be a bit disastrous. So okay then, moving swiftly onto the fuel tank. This is the fuel tank that came with the kit, so that's the one we're going to be using. And this is the pipework that also came with the kit that I've now got in position just to show you how it all goes together. The bottom feed line here that goes to your clunk, obviously that is your main fuel pickup, and that goes off to your carburetor on your engine. The other two are vent pipes. When you open the kit, you'll notice that these vent pipes are actually straight, and you have to bend this up sort of 45 degree-ish up to the top of your tank. It's nice soft aluminium pipe, or in some case brass pipe. It's easy to bend round your thumb. I find that's the easiest way, so you bend it without getting a bit of a kink on that corner. Once I've bent it, a little tip I've gained over the years is to actually put some silicone tube on there and cut it off at an angle. I don't know if you can actually see that too clearly, but I cut it off at an angle. This is so, well, I can show you if I offer it up to the tank. You can see you can see that the silicone takes those pipes right to the top of the fuel tank. This helps you when you fill in the tank. You always get a full tank, and also when you come to drain your tank off at the end of your flying session, all you do is turn your model upside down, which allows the fuel to go straight to those vent pipes, and it just makes it easier to drain out, and you actually get every last drop out of your tank, so you don't leave any fuel in there to go stale. Also, I've cut the fuel pipe to your clunk about 5 milli short of the back of the tank. The reason for this is so that clunk will flop about when you're doing your aerobatics, and always maintains in the fuel. Also, if it butts up to the back of the tank, that can cause fuel starvation and obviously your engine conking out. So that's it really, only a 10-minute job, easy to do, and then it's just a case of sliding it into the fuel bay there that's already been pre-cut. At this stage I'll just put the petrol tank in. I won't actually pipe it up to the engine because I want to see what the balance is like. I'm going to check the CRG at the end of the day, and then the battery may have to go underneath the tank and to aid it balancing out. I don't think it will on this model. It'll probably be around the wheel area here, but as yet we don't know. So I hope you come back and watch part 12's video, which will show you the fuel tank in position, and then we'll move on to the installing of the receiver and the switch harness, etc.